I'd just like to start by saying that we very much appreciate everyone's understanding in terms of working through this. There's been a high level of complexity in revisiting a program, and I guess normally a program takes about 12 months to work through, and I think last year we had 72 drafts of it. We've basically had to reschedule that in a very short space of time. There's nothing perfect about what we've come up here, but we appreciate everyone's support and understanding in these tragic and extraordinary circumstances. The schedule will inconvenience a lot of people. We understand that, but we very much hope that in light of these extraordinary circumstances that everyone can see the big picture. And I'd like to note that in that regard, our ticketing agencies are at the ready now to deal with issues around tickets. I know that Qantas, our partner, has already sent notices to the best of their ability. They will help people with transfers of flights, and also like to acknowledge accommodation providers in the relevant states or cities who have committed to, as best as possible, allow for changes in accommodation that will help cricket fans to get to the cricket with these changes at short notice. As you know now, the first test will start on the 9th of December. It's not by design that it happens to be in Adelaide, but perhaps there is some special significance in that with it being Philip's adopted hometown. The Adelaide Test match is traditionally a great Test match, always well supported, and it will take on extra special significance next Tuesday when it begins. From a player perspective, this is very tough times for our players. Obviously extraordinary circumstances, and we understand the challenges for them, and I'm not just talking about Australian cricketers here, I'm also talking about state cricketers all over the country. And from our perspective at Cricket Australia, but also I know I speak on behalf of our state associations, we're with our players every step of the way and try to make this as easy as possible in the circumstances. We've got a tough couple of days ahead of us. We're heading to Maxville today for a funeral tomorrow, and hopefully that's a great celebration of Philip's life, and we can then move forward. But at the same time, we understand the challenges for our players and those closest to the Hughes family, and of course the Hughes family themselves, and our sympathies are with them, and we can only support them as the best as we possibly can.
James, you must be delighted with the way that everyone's cooperated in such a heavy situation, that everyone's first priority is the players' welfare.
Yeah, I think what we've tried to do right from the outset is to say that the players are, well, in the first instance, I've got to say the Hughes family have been our priority, to provide them with as much space but also as much support as possible, and at the same time for our players to really understand the unique and exceptional circumstances of someone so close dying. And to understand that everyone deals with that differently, and all we can do is to provide that support, both in a sort of a friendship sense, but also as a caring employer, but also in terms of the support through professional services that I know Alison Nicholson and the ACA have been very forthcoming and supportive with.
James, how much say did the players have in the timing of the tests resuming? And who did you deal with? Was you dealing with Michael Clark or them as a collective? How did that happen?
Well, we've been working closely with the ACA throughout our discussions on the schedule, and I've got to say there's nothing perfect about this. I should say that everyone in trying to, I guess, re-engineer this schedule, the key stakeholders really have been the players first. Also the BCCI, the Indian Cricket Board, and their players who are in this country waiting uncertainty as to what the future is and when they're next going to play cricket. And first and foremost, it's been a balance in trying to find the right balance for those two parties, but there's many others as well that have been affected by this, and of course we've had to consult with them through that. And the England and Wales Cricket Board is another one who are affected as well with the program later in the summer.
Like selectors or say how does someone go through individually with players and just check if there are people who want to take some more time off?
I know primarily the discussions have been direct through Alistair Nicholson at the Australian Cricketers Association. There's been lots and lots of discussions and trying to understand where everyone's at, but first and foremost it's Alistair Nicholson that's been the person that has, on behalf of the players, represented their views for us to get an understanding of what's possible and what's not possible. And try to get to, I guess, the optimal solution in these tragic and uncertain circumstances.
Do you expect all players to play?
Oh, look, I'm not going to jump ahead to that, but what I can say is that we will support the players in the best possible way through this period. Like right now, there's a funeral tomorrow, and let's just understand that's going to be difficult enough as it is. I think there will be a great temptation for people to speculate about who's going to play and how they're feeling. I just encourage everyone to give the players their space and let them, in their own way, work through that. Understand that we and the Australian Cricketers Association will be supporting them, and no one will think ill of anyone who feels uncomfortable about it. Test cricket's a different game. It's not just going out there and playing a game of sport for a couple of hours. You need to go out there and commit to 5 days, and you need to front up day after day after day. It's a big step, and it's not just an ordinary sporting match.
So it'll be up to the individual?
Yeah, look, absolutely up to the individual, and any player that is not comfortable or doesn't feel right, and or there is medical advice to suggest that they're not quite right, then we will obviously understand that, and I'm sure the broader public will understand that as well.
James, what is the cooperation of the Indian Cricket Board been? What's that meant to Cricket Australia, and also in terms of the rescheduling, have you had to guarantee the broadcaster, host broadcaster, anything?
No guarantees. I mean, our commercial partners, it's been remarkable to talk to our commercial partners. I've had conversations with chief executives of our commercial partners, including broadcasters, who have said, we completely understand the circumstances you're in. We should be the last ones you worry about. Just get it done. Do whatever you've got to do to work it through, but don't feel any pressure from us. And I think that's been magnificent.
Did you consider cancelling the Brisbane Test altogether?
Oh, look, we've canvassed so many options and worked through all sorts of different permutations. I guess our first preference has always been to try to deliver the content, the matches that were scheduled in the first place. That's what Australian cricket fans wanted, and to be honest, it was close. There were only a few days in it, but in the end we've been able to get to a solution that is, I believe, optimal, and I just hope that everyone will understand the big picture here. These are tragic and extraordinary circumstances, and I think we've come up with a solution that, if not satisfying everyone will at least understand, and hopefully we'll have a great summer of cricket from here.
James, how proud have you been of Michael Clarke's leadership throughout this process? You've been a man, hasn't he?
Michael's been extraordinary, and I think he's dealing with his own personal grief from losing one of his best friends, but he's so close to the Hughes family. The way that he has responded and provided comfort and support for them has been amazing. I've seen that firsthand in the hospital leading into Philip's death. He's been a real rock for them, and I know he continues to be that today and will continue in the future as that.
There's been a huge outpouring all around the world, from junior cricket up to test level and well beyond sport as well. What have you made of that? What's that meant to you and the players?
Well, I think it does show or illustrate the way in which cricket does move the mood of the nation, but even more broadly than that, it just shows the significance of cricket, and I guess the brotherhood across the world in terms of the outpourings that have been shared and the way people have expressed their grief. So we appreciate the messages of support and the tributes that we've seen from all over the world. It's too hard to thank everyone for that, but I'd just like to take the opportunity to say that the Hughes family and others I know close to Philip are overwhelmed by that, and we thank you for your support and understanding.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.